how to start and operate the machine. This is a KD7405 KCP, meaning it is an up-down machine, meaning there's no line of sight from one point to the other. You can't see to the middle, so the X-ray radiation is greatly reduced. Big key components you got here. E-stop. Number one, you gotta know where that's at. Number two, your lockout tagout point. It's also your on-off switch. It is the first point of electrical energy. Next thing you've got this front door, these two side covers, right there and there. They must be engaged, otherwise the machine will not operate. So we're going to access the conveyor door. I'm going to see what's going on inside. Alright. Right here, where this little blue strip is, that is where the X-rays come in down from up here to there. Okay? This little belt right here, they're directional. On one of the corners, it will have like an arrow pointed towards the way it's going. It just helps keep it more aligned. These side pods right here, on the top and over there, they all come apart to go extreme cleaning if you ever need to. But for the most part, most people just wipe one down and stuff like that. To take off the belts, you will access, and then you're able to slide this right off, taking the door off. This is very, very simple. It requires no tools. So, if you ever get a jam inside of this machine, or every time you're cleaning out or switching over from one product to another, what we recommend is to open up the machine into this form right here, do a physical hand sweep, make sure there is nothing stuck in any of the corners, and then we'll close it back up. When you close it up, there's an interlock on each side. It engages. It does not require excessive force to close these things up. If you start slamming it now, 6 months from now, you will never be able to close this thing. Okay? But almost no force. Okay. So in this position, this is the ready to go. Okay? The key is in the on position. We are on the home screen, and we have our product. So, going to changing product. Say we're not running sucrose, so we're going to run the ones with the foil. So we tap the product number right here. It brings up the display product list. Select the one that you want. Select the one you want. Hit change product. Okay. Now we're on this one. I'm going to start it. Get started. It takes about 10, 15 seconds or so to start up. At this time, it'll start energizing the X-ray machine and start pumping out the radiation that is contained within the unit. You see over here, it says pre-warning, X-ray on, belt will start moving. You'll notice that you have lights on the side. This is saying that the X-ray is on here and here. Okay, we are on, and we can start running the product. That's how to turn it on. Okay, we get down to the end of the shift and we're done for the day. We're going to go ahead and stop it. We're not going to hit this big button. No, that's easy stop. That's emergency only. We're going to hit this one right here. Just stop. Pretty simple. Okay?
So if we stop for break, or whatever, just stop.
Just hit the stop. Yeah, so what you're going to do, when you do that, is it's just going to safely power down the machine. It's going to turn off the X-rays. It's going to go back to the ready to go position. Okay? Come back from break, because we don't want to just burn off the electricity that it's producing or using. Come back, hit the start button. 10 to 15 seconds, come back, goes back into operation. What it's doing right now is it's making sure that there's nothing in between the beam. And if there is something in between the beam, one of two things will happen. Number one, it won't operate. It'll say sensitivity failed. That way you know, stop it. something's in the side, you open it up, clear it out, check underneath the belt, close it back up, go back to the start position and run. Second thing is if something is there and it will operate, what you'll have is a white line going across your product. That'll show you that you're not able to see in that area. So be very careful when starting the machine and make sure that there's nothing in the middle.
Okay.
All right, so normal operation, we will see product go through. So can I get some product? A product. Right there. No, very good. So I'm going to switch over to this product because this is the sucrose. So we do it. Pick it. Change product. So we're in the start, ready to start position. Hit start.
Oh, sorry, that machine's off. Hey, Miguel.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just going to sweep them in there.
Okay.
Okay, so the product, this thing will be going off and then we'll be launching these things in there. You kind of see them as they go by. They're very, very tiny. There's 2 packets, right? You're able to see all the stuff inside of it. And whenever there's a contaminant, you will reject. That's what this little thing right here is. It's a rejector. We call it a slide gate rejector. Okay. Now, when you start up the machine, you're going to have one of these little things right here. It's standard. You're going to get one of your products. Make sure it has stuff inside. And then take it, and usually I tape them together just at the very, very top and the very, very bottom. That way I will be able to see it. And then you pass it through. Then what you're looking for is it to operate the recheck and for all of your stainless steel balls to come up onto the display. Okay? Start up before running this machine. You want to run it 3 times at least with your standard. Okay? Every time you come back from break, you want to run it 3 times. And then whenever QA tells you to run it, you run it 3 times, at least. 3 or 5 times is what we say. I usually tell people just 3. Because if it doesn't work after 3, it's not going to work at all. So you pass the product, it'll be going through, and it'll operate. Once it gets to it. Rejects it. Like I said. The big thing is you want to make sure that it goes all the way through and physically drops down on the other side of that slide gate. What might happen if you have the rejector slightly out of timing, or this is starting to speed up, or speed up the belt, or something is different, is it might be able to bounce over the top. Right. So that's why we want to make sure every single time you get it to go a physical recheck. It does reject. All right, so we know how to turn on the machine. We know how to turn off the machine. We know how to clear the jams. We know how to open the belt and open all the doors. Changing product. And yeah, that's actually all that the operators really need to know how to do. That's 95% of the job is there.
So we need passport?
No.
Machine itself?
No.
Can you turn it on?
Turn it on.
Select the product?
Absolutely.
Run it?
We just need that key. Just the key.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
The key must be in the on position, otherwise it will not work. So I'll show you what it looks like. It says operation key off. Can't reset it. double slash right there is the reset. Won't let me reset, so it won't let me start. Key back in. Operates. Do not put your hands inside the machine. Do not put any part of your body inside the machine. It is radiation. Even small amounts of radiation, if you're sitting there and sticking it up in there, it gets worse the further or the closer to this you get. Right.
No, what we can do is just turn the conveyor around. That one,
Yep.
put it here, and then we'll-
Let it go, right. And you'd be in operation. So, right now, the radiation is coming out of this thing at like an inch. It's 0.15. In this room, before we started up with this machine off, it was 0.11. It's background radiation. It's within acceptable limits, and you shouldn't feel in danger to stand around this machine and operate it all day. Okay? One of the things y'all want to know is these filters on the side of the thing, you're going to want to clean these things out at least weekly, because it's going to get very dusty in here, and this thing's going to be sucking in a lot of dust. So make sure that these things are clean. They did come with spares. The way I clean them, I just soak them in water overnight and put the other filters in.
Okay.
Try not to use high pressure air on it, because what you'll end up doing is just these things will particulate and just become nothing after a few times to do it. So there's 2 on the back and 2 on 1 on each side.
Okay.
If you need any other assistance with the machine, pretty much call maintenance,
Okay.
because that's all you're going to have to need to know.
Yeah.
Turn on the machine, turn off the machine, how to reset it, open it up, clear out jams. Okay. Do y'all have any questions?
Do you want to go through running or loading a recipe real quick and make sure you remember how to do everything?
So you gotta go.
I know he
You have
can
to
load a new
stop
one.
the machine.
Load a new recipe.
Yeah.
You're still on the product.
These guys, that's a QA thing. That's not the.
You have to
Okay.
the
Oh, yeah,
change product.
Change product.
Right. Right. Then you start. So that right there will tell you where you're at.
Uh-huh.
Give it a whirl, Carmela.
I'll give you a scenario
Yeah.
here in a second. Just gonna put it on the corner. Okay. So right now we have an alarm.
Okay.
Okay? It says hand insertion detected. It's a blockage at conveyor entrance, remove it. Or frequently call us. Okay? So in this scenario, what do you do?
Hold it up, please.
Open the key. Right, open the key. Unphysically do it. Yep. You're gonna want to open. You're gonna want to access the door. Because in this scenario, this is a jam. They both work. Yep. Open up the doors. Check your belt. the jams. Yep. Yep. And then hit the reset.
Stop. Stop. The corner and stop.
Right. And then you gotta operate, so. After doing it like 50 times a day, you'll be fine. You'll get it. Like, day one, you'll get it. I promise you. Day one, you'll get it. Because it's gonna happen.
After
Something-
5 years, you'll finally have it, Carmela. Yeah.
What about the scenario?
You're like this. Now what's your problem? Now what's your problem? Your project's not gonna have a problem enough. It's not gonna go silent. It's not gonna. Okay, so that is operating the machine. Stars.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's into shift. What do you do? End of the day. What do you do? On site. Nope. In fact, I like leaving it there. If you can't, there's the key there. If you do this, it comes right out. And that's what happens. Sometimes with that key. Really easy. And they're about $40 a key.
40.
$40 a key. I own one. They're $40 a key.
Wait a minute. If he's gonna engage a lockout tag out.
So,
he should
Louise,
put a lock in there.
we might have
You
to
can
put a
lock in
chain
there
and
and
chain
use
that
a
key
hasp.
to the machine so it doesn't get lost.
Because we don't,
The only time you're ever going to need a lockout tagout is when you're actually
I'm thinking we
physically
drape
opening this
a
thing
chain
off
from here to here and just chain it
and
on.
doing something
Yeah.
inside that
Yeah.
requires power to be off. Alternatively, you can unplug it from the wall. Everybody has to have a lockout tagout point, regardless. So that's where it's at.
We don't have any options for turning on manually. Yes, you get like example. Night shift company, run it. They go home early, they get a key, put it right here, clean it, they take it home.
Oh,
They go back.
What I would suggest and recommend is put a metal lanyard from that
Yeah.
point right there to this point right there so it can't be taken away.
Yeah, Eric, we'll put a chain on it so you can't take the key off. Yeah.
The sad part is you have to.
Yeah.
Technically, in lockout tag out, they lock something out and tag it out, and the person is responsible for the key. If they go home, and you still can't operate, that person has to come back here physically and unlock it. No ifs, ands, buts about ending it up, including up to termination for doing so.
Somebody always say that's not me.
It's common policy, actually. Most companies.
Yeah, most companies do that. All right, so it's all the way back up and ready to start running again. Remember, select your product, change product. Start an operation. At the end of the day, stop the operation. Anytime there's an error, open it up, check to make sure there's nothing in there, reset after closing it all up. Go back to startup operation. Very simple. The machine was designed so that operators don't have to use tools to do anything.
Now, to clean it,
Okay, let's go
what
clean it.
kind of stuff we use? Just
Soap and water. Soap and water, like those sandy wipes.
Okay.
No harsh chemicals. No caustic
Okay.
at all. What caustic will do is it'll eat seals. That does it everywhere. So, no caustic.
So we need to use the regular clean flags.
What do you have? Just use it. I mean, most things you're going to be fine. Soap,
We'll
water.
we'll specify
the
that.
soap. Yeah,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
we do have some
Yeah.
caustic soap.
Right, right.
So we're not gonna use those.
No caustic.
That's right.
So here's what happens when you get caustic. You do caustic, the seal right here, around that edge, will deteriorate. That seal will pop up, and water and stuff can get inside. One of the most expensive components is right underneath that seal. It's called the detector. You get a little bit of water on that thing from the top side down. You replace it. It's like 15 grand. So no caustic. You can. You can. If you're gonna blow it off though, I would recommend that you loosen the belt so you don't stretch it, and then you lift it up. Put it back. You put it back in its little home, and then just close it. It's just a slide lock.
You don't know how many blow it off, huh?
What's that?
You know, just blow it off. Maybe once every 2 weeks. Good enough. Simple way. That's all.
All right. Any other questions from operators? The other thing you'll have over here is this requires air to operate.
Okay.
You can see there's air. By looking right there, it's
How
a
many
little.
feet?
If you want it to right before the 0.5, this is MPA.
Oh, okay.
And then over here on the PSI,
Mhm.
there's 60.
Okay.
That's plenty enough. Between 0.3 and 0.8. So where I say it's just right at that line, just below it. Because it doesn't really have to operate too much. So
Yeah.
it just has to stay.
I wrote it on the IQ. I can't remember.
Very nice and simple. We don't need super expensive. Hey, they weigh nothing.
Like exactly.
Brand.
Okay.
To take this piece off, if you do it, need to. Alright? You can take this and clean this, if you get anything on it. That's all you'll have to do to clean this part. Align the two pegs, slide it forward. So. Okay, you'll have some kind of pin or something,
Yeah.
plug it down here. You just
Just collect it.
yeah, to collect it, just you pull it out, dump it out to where you need it, put it back in there. Be mindful of this area right here, this area right here, pinch points, and if your sleeves get caught in there, it will. Yep, absolutely. The motor is right here, so be mindful that that's where it's at. Same thing on the other sides. There are some pinch points, and it's even worse on that side because there's a bigger machine right next to it. So, mind your pinch points. Okay? And then especially when in operation, don't put your hands in between. That right there, because yep. This, can be sharp if it actuates at you. So, stay away from that. This is the full motion that it'll go. Also, make sure that this and this have a gap.
Okay.
If you end up smashing this and getting it close to it, when this operates, it can cut that belt. It's fast enough to cut that belt really easy, and then you'll have a nick in the belt, and you'll see it coming around. So,
Okay. So how that is clear.
absolutely great.
What's the lifespan of the belt?
Well, I would say it is however long you keep it up and well. They should last over a year. They should last well over 2 years. But if you start damaging it yourself, it's going to last not as long. Most people, they have these things on there for 2, 3 years. As long as you take care of it, you can exceed that. The longest belt I've seen on there was 5.5 years, and it looked great. The only reason they had to pull it off is somebody got careless.
Another thing on the maintenance of the equipment itself. What are the wear items?
Well, you got your belts, your rollers, your motor.
Rollers estimated?
Say again?
They're still bearing on the road.
Seal bearings on the rollers, they're supposed to last over a year. They are warranted to over a year. To 1 year. So, there's that. Rollers, belts, photo eyes and interlocks. Those will go out too. Especially if you start smashing them. So, whenever you're riding this right here, this little prong right here. If you start to give it that little bit of extra, it's gonna misalign. It's not gonna go into its catch. When that happens, it's gonna bend and go sideways.
Hey Benny, hey, sorry, real quick. I think we're gonna have a maintenance training section.
Yep.
Do we want to get? Do you guys have any further questions before we move on? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you want to be nice and careful with it, because you want these to go into those, and yeah, well, they're meant to move a little bit in case you come off it a little bit sideways, and it'll still access it. But that's why we want to be careful when we close it. If it doesn't close right away with that much effort, don't slam it.
Okay.
That's the number one thing I see from operators is they slam the doors. These things are precision pieces of equipment. They're Japanese spec. They are precise in the little details. So nice and easy.
Alrighty. Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Miguel. Thanks, Carmela.
All right, now we go on to the fun things. Let's learn our product. All right, to learn our product, we're going to need to go into level 2. It's manager level. Inside the book, the passwords are there, but I'll go ahead and give it to you guys right now. 7777. Super easy. Okay. From this screen, this is menu. We are going to go and change our product. So product table, go to an open product. Open products are something without the stars over there. Change product. We're in product number 4. Go back to menu. Go to product registration, basic settings. And this is where we would type in our name. Okay? Make sure it says contaminant. That's what we're going to be evaluating for. Leave everything else alone. Display. What you want to see is enable, yes, no. Time, auto stop, capture kept. Capture kept is going to be there only for whenever you're learning the product and then whenever you tune the product. After you're done, you're going to change it to capture time, leave it on 8 seconds. What this does is whenever a contaminant goes through there, it'll stay up there. So whenever you're testing your standards, you want to be able to maintain that image. But in operation, you want it to go away. It'll record it that you want it to go away so that you can see the current operating package going through. So we have it on this conveyor, bulk type. So your product is too small to be seen by the photo eye, and it's too thin to be caught by an auto check. So bulk type. Belt speed is going to be at least 25 meters per minute because the belt in front of you is running at 24.5 meters per minute. You always want to meet or exceed up to 10 meters faster than the previous belt. Okay? This one and this one do not touch. Once you're done, you hit register, go ahead and go back.